Hey everybody, did a blog yesterday and I'm redoing it today. Had some camera and focus issues and I think we've got them solved. Anyway, this is about foods for on the go and at work. I got the idea for this blog from my hairdresser Tess. Tess is a very busy lady. She doesn't really have time during the day to sit down and do a full all-out meal. She has to have things she can grab real quick. And a lot of times she just simply doesn't eat because that's easier than trying to figure out what to eat. Also, a lot of these ideas are going to be really good like when you're in the car or on the go. Easy to pack, instantly ready, that kind of thing. One of the dangers of not eating all day, if you've read any of my blogs, you know this, is that you are lowering your metabolism so much that you're actually almost counterproductive to losing weight. The other problem is that you get so hungry during the day, at least I know this is the case with me, and I think this is the case with a lot of people, that when you finally do get to where you can eat, you're so starving that you eat more calories in that one short period of time you have to eat than if you would have just spaced it throughout the day. So for me personally, and for most people, I think if you kind of stay ahead of the hunger, that helps you with not being so hungry that you overeat later on. So anyway, one of my biggest tips for keeping your appetite under control and just your whole system humming correctly and your digestive system working right and your energy up and your hunger from not being false, being a genuine hunger and not a hunger where your body's trying to get moisture because it's dehydrated, is just to drink water all the time. This is a really big glass that I use. It holds 4 cups and I try to drink 4 of these a day. I drink at least 1 gallon a day, and yes, that's a lot of water, and yes, I'm running to the bathroom all the time, but when you work out a lot, and when you're working a lot, you just need a lot of fluid. Now, there is such a thing called water toxicity. Trust me, I'm nowhere near that with this. If you made a full-time job out of drinking water, you could get that. I'm good. Sometimes when I'm cutting in or really trying to get a lot of sodium to wash out of my system, I'll go up as high as 2 gallons a day. Sometimes I'm actually thirsty for that, believe it or not, because once you start drinking water, you start getting used to it. And by the way, I mean water, plain water, not diet soda, not iced tea, not those flavored waters that you buy, water. One of the ways that I help do that is I keep this in my car. It's just a little Rubbermaid container, and I'm lugging it down all the time. My family will tell you that if I am stuck in a vehicle without this, I tend to get just a little bit panicky because I know that when we get to a restaurant or something, I'm going to be more likely to eat the wrong foods, and my body just doesn't work as well. Okay, now down to the actual foods. While you need to have the food ready to eat instantly at the time, you do have to do a little bit of prep, putting it in bags and those kinds of things. A lot of times I'll do this on a Sunday or just whenever I have a few minutes throughout the week. I don't do a whole lot of batch cooking. A lot of people will cook up on Sundays a big thing of brown rice and a big thing of chicken. I don't do that. But if I'm making brown rice one night during the week, I will cook extra. But when it comes to my snack foods, a lot of times I do get things together ahead, and they go together actually pretty fast. This won't take more than 10 or 15 minutes of your time. So your best friend for this is going to be sandwich bags. Cheap ones are fine. They hold all sorts of interesting things. Some things that you can put in sandwich bags. I buy for my family a good quality trail mix in the bulk bin section of a store we have here locally. This has got just a few chocolate chips and things in it, so it tastes good for them. There is nuts, there is, I don't know what's in here, but anyway, it's an organic, it's a good quality one. And be careful with this. The calorie concentration on trail mix can be really high. So a 1/4 cup of them sectioned off into a sandwich bag, it's very high concentration, it's high in fat, it's going to keep you full for a little bit longer. I wouldn't recommend eating it all day long, but it's good for a treat during the day and something just to keep you going. For me, because I'm allergic to tree nuts and I can't eat that kind of trail mix, I mix up my own and I make it a little bit healthier because I don't want the chocolate chips. So I will take a good quality cereal. Let me find mine here. I like Cashew Bowling Crunch. That's my favorite. I'll put a little bit of that, maybe 1/2 cup of that, in the bag with some dried fruit. You see raisins right here? Maybe some raisins. And then I'll get some nuts. I've got, this is a little container of nuts, but this is more nuts than I would eat. There's 225 calories in this. But I might take 3 tablespoons of this and mix it in there. Shake it up real good, and then I've got a little bit of sweet and a little bit of salty, and that just gives me something I can grab for fun during the day. Much healthier version than most of the store-bought trail mixes that you're going to get. Another good thing for healthy fats, in the bulk section again, I get these seeds. Oops, that's not them, here they are. I've got pepitas or pumpkin seeds. They're raw unsalted, and raw unsalted sunflower seeds here. Other people could get nuts. Again, I've got the tree nut problem. I don't do this, but these are great in a little bag, or I can add them to my trail mix just to help me get through the day. And we were talking about dried fruit. I have little bags here. These are dried cherries and dried pineapple. Be careful with this again, very calorie concentrated. However, if you're on the road, if you're at work, you need something not sticky and not messy, this works really good. You have to be careful with dried fruit also. A lot of times they're dried with sugar. So check that and make sure you're not loading yourself up on refined sugar. If it's the sugar from the fruits, no problem. Your body, that's the way Mother Nature intended you to eat. And the other nice thing about these is they swell up in your stomach and they make you feel a little bit fuller, and they kind of taste like candy, so I like that. Another thing I like to do when I'm on the road is my favorite protein bars. This is the Wonder Slim. It's made by a company called Diet Direct. You have to order online. It's bariatric products, and I did a blog, a written blog, a couple weeks ago about bariatric products being a surprising place for high protein stuff for us bodybuilding types. And one of these on the road or at work, she could take, or anybody could just take a bite and eat it in between customers, that kind of thing. And then we don't want to forget about fresh fruit. I've got an apple here, an orange. This would not be good. This would be sticky on your hands, so you want to think through that one before you eat something like an orange. But apples are good, and grapes, again, in your sandwich bag. Really nice, sweet treat that you can get. Eat a couple of grapes and then keep going. One thing you always want to do with your snacks, if you can, is try and pair a protein with a carbohydrate. Those two work synergistically. They work together to help deliver the nutrients to different areas of your body, build the muscle, cut the fat, all that stuff. I don't believe in a diet that's void of any one of the major nutrients. Protein and carbs are the really big ones there. A little bit of fat in there can help too. You don't have to have the fat, but protein and carbs. So if you have the fruit, you might want to try and combine it with something else that has some protein in it, like string cheese. These are great. Rip a couple of them off. These actually keep fairly well at room temp for several hours. So that's another idea. If you're at work, you can take a bite, wrap it in a napkin, shove it somewhere, and then get some more later. You can have that with your fruit. If you have a refrigerator at work, this is a really neat idea. This you get a 6 ounce of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. You put a scoop of protein powder. I keep all mine here. My favorite brand of protein powder is the Syntrax Nectar type. It's 100% of the calories are from protein. There are no carbs. This is the Roadside Lemonade. It's one of my favorites. In a bowl, mix together your yogurt with 1 scoop, and the scooper is in here, of the whey protein powder. You want whey. Don't try this with soy or casein. I made the problem of doing those. It's nasty. It's a waste of both the protein powder and the yogurt. But you mix these together real good. It tastes like pudding. I swear it's yummy. And you can put a little bit of fruit in there if you want to, or eat a piece of fruit next to it. Very high protein. It can actually make a meal replacement. That's good with chocolate too, by the way. What else? Oh, hard-boiled eggs. You boil up some of these. I've already ate 6 today myself, 1 whole and 5 whites. If you're going to bring these, they're a great thing to have for work. And again, they keep fairly well at room temp. I wouldn't keep them like that for hours and hours, but they do okay. You can bring them to eat for breakfast. Crack them ahead of time, and then put the cracked eggs into your sandwich bag, and that way you don't have a big mess. And this is one more thing for on the road. I keep one of these in my car. This is a Lean Muscle Meal by GNC. These don't taste the best of all of the things, but in a pinch, this is a really good way to get in some protein and just a little bit of carbs. 170 calories per. The protein, I think that says 18 grams. Don't have my glasses on. I think the carbs are at 9. So I would do this with maybe a piece of fruit. Another idea with your string cheese, and get some rice cakes. And I've never seen these kind of big rice cakes packaged separate. They always come in a big old lump, you know, big old group together. But pull a rice cake out, stick it in your sandwich bag. Let me get one here. That's what the rice cake. You one or two of them. They're usually about 35 calories a piece and no fat. I get the lightly salted. And put it in your sandwich bag. You can eat that, and then you can eat that along with your string cheese, or you can spread it with some nut butter. Again, I'm going to be sticking with the peanut butter because of the nut allergy. They have almond butters and things. I can't eat those, but they've got a little bit of protein and quite a bit of healthy fats. A tip on that, peanut butter should not be like this. This is a name brand. If it holds together at room temperature, that is full of the process is called hydrogenation, and it's usually got saturated fat, sugar. The process they have to get it to go through to hold steady at room temperature and not separate makes it really bad for you. It's artery clogging. The proteins are not as quality. The fats are not as quality. You want to go with the stuff where the oil separates from the top, or better yet, I was talking about in the bulk section. We're in little old Wichita Falls, Texas. I think if we have it here, you probably have it where you live if you're in a bigger city. There's a big hopper, and it is full of dry roasted unsalted nuts. And we push a button and hold a container underneath, and the peanut butter grinds right before your eyes. That's really cool. And you don't have the salt in there. You can spread some of that on your rice cake, and then there's a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, and then your carbs in the rice cake. So anyway, I hope that this gave you some ideas, and that somebody found this handy. I know a lot of this is probably repeat information for a lot of people, but I just thought I'd put it out there and maybe it'll help you. By the way, Tess lost a watch. If you found a real pretty one in your shop, check and see if it's mine, okay? All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good one.